Hey Team Oasis, I am here to go over some of the training that Britt and I got last weekend at Leadership U in Dallas. More specifically, this is training that we got when we got our silver pins in the mail. It came with an audio CD, and this is a recap of one of the lessons on that CD that we listened to while we drove to Dallas last weekend, and it's all about follow-up. And specifically what I'm going to go over today is follow up with your customers, retail customers that have purchased product, or even brand new distributors that came on just to get the discount and need that extra hand and that follow up so that they know that they're doing everything they need to do with their products. So I've got some notes here, so I'll be referring to those, but just wanted to share this information with you because we thought it was really great. The first and foremost thing that you guys need to remember that is just been drilled into our heads in every big event that we've been to is that your fortune is in the follow-up. If you give somebody a spark and then never follow up with them, never call them, never check in, see if they even drank it if you didn't mix it for them right there, you've lost a sale, you've lost a potential distributor. So it's very important to always follow up, and I'm going to go over kind of some tips and then even a plan on how to do that. So why do we follow up with people? The first part is really simple, to make sure they're taking the products appropriately, that they're following the directions so that they can get great results. And then also, this is a who do you know business, so it's important that you connect. It's a great way to build relationships, learn about your customers, learn about what their needs are, and you also learn about their families and their circumstances, and it's an opportunity to find ways to help them and suggest other products that they might not know anything about to help them have an excellent Advocare journey. So what's a way to follow up? What are you going to do? What does that look like? Can look like whatever you need it to look like, whatever works best for you. The important thing is find something that works for you and then actually use it to make sure that you're following up correctly. The system I want to tell you about is something that Britt and I have adopted and seems to be working really well for us, is a 3-ring binder. You can buy a 2-inch 3-ring binder for $3 or $4 and buy a set of tabs that are numbered 1 through 31, and that will represent the days of the month. Put those in there, and then you also need to have a follow-up record. And what that is just a sheet of paper, and at the top of the page, obviously contact information, name, phone number, has a place where you write down what products that person's using if they are on a 24-day challenge or using some other products. And then it also allows you to write on there when you followed up with them, what the conversation consisted of, so that when you go to call them back the next time, you kind of know where you left off. You're not just trying to pull it out of your brain. Because as your business grows, as you get more retail customers, you get more people on the 24-day challenge, and they're in different phases of the 24-day challenge. Some people are on day 1, some people are on day 9, some people are on day 14. That way you're not trying to pull it all out of your memory and remember everything. You've got it written down where you can look at it and go back to it and reference it and get the information that you need. So what you do is you take this follow-up record, and you can go to advocaretraining.com, and they have one on their website. Britt and I actually found 2 from 2 different websites that we liked parts of each one, and we created our own. So if you'd like that, contact me and I will definitely email that to you. We have it in an Excel format so that you could do it online if you wanted to. Do it in Excel if you wanted to, or print it out and do it on paper, which is what we do. And you keep 50 copies, 70 copies of that in the binder, and every time you have a new contact, every time you have a new sample, you fill out a form for them. So how do we use the binder? Let's say our client's name is Mary, and she starts the 24-day challenge today, which is the 14th. So her piece of paper is going to be on the 14th. We're going to call her. It's day 1. We're going to make sure she's got everything she needs to start for day 1. And then after we're done with that phone call, we're going to move her piece of paper to the 14th, because that's day 3, and that's the next time we want to follow up with someone that's on the 24-day challenge, is on the 3rd day when things change on the 4th day. So then when you follow up with her that day, again, you'll move it further behind, and we'll go over the days that you follow up with someone who's on the 24-day challenge in just a minute. But then if you have like a spark sample, same thing. You can do that the same way. You sparked them on Friday the 13th. You want to follow up with them on, if you mailed it, maybe Wednesday of next week. So you move your form to that day so that when you get to that day and you open that day in your 3-ring binder, you know exactly who you're going to follow up with that day and what you're following up with them about. So, and then again, if the mail hasn't come or they haven't had a chance to try it yet, move them a couple days forward, follow up with them again. That way you don't forget, I don't know know if Sally ever got her mail. I don't know if she ever drank that. That way you know it's in your follow-up binder and you know whether you've talked to them or not. So let's say, first thing you want to tell a new person that's bought product from you is you want to tell them that you're going to be following up with them. You want them to know that you're going to be reaching out to them and getting in contact with them. So, and let them know, especially 24-day challenge participants, let them know that you're going to be following up with them because you might have to make some changes. They might have some questions about the products or the timing. And so they know that you're going to be getting in touch with them. And it's very important to communicate those first few days so that you can make the changes that are needed. And so they need to know that straight up. And then, but one of the first things you want to do before they even start is to go over the whole program, kind of an overview. You do this, and then on day 4 you change and you don't do fiber drink anymore. And then you bring the fiber drink back in on day 8. Things like that are really general. Don't get too specific because it's very overwhelming. It's a 24-day program. So just to kind of let them know. And then you can say, and we'll talk about that more when I follow up with you later. And that way they know you're going to be getting back in touch with them. So on the cleanse, you would follow up with people on the first day, make sure they had a good day. The 3rd day, things are going to change on the 4th day. The 7th day, because things are going to change on the 8th day. And then again on the 10th day as they move into the max phase and what changes for that. And then during the max phase, it's kind of the same thing. You'll do day 1 of the max phase, day 3 of the max phase, day 7 of the max phase, and day 10 of the max phase. And again, those are when things changes. It gives you an opportunity to make sure. And then, of course, you want to follow up with them day 7 of the max phase to talk about what they're going to do after they finish the 24-day challenge, days 25 and beyond, what products they're going to need, what they are looking for, and that kind of thing. So when you're following up and when you're preparing to follow up, there's some questions you want to ask. Of course, the first thing you want to get is the best phone number, whether it's their home phone, their work phone, their cell phone, just the best way, the number they're going to answer if you call them. So that's the first thing you want to make sure you write down. And obviously, I'm in the same boat. I love to text. I prefer email because it's a little less intrusive and it just sometimes it doesn't feel comfortable to call someone on the phone, but honestly, it's the quickest way. One, you can answer questions immediately. It's immediate feedback. You can figure out more about where, maybe if they didn't understand something, where that problem is. And then also they can hear your voice. They can hear your passion. They can hear your inflection. It's just more personal if you call. And you can peel that onion and find out what they really need and how you can really help them. So get their number and then also get their time. Find out when they want you to call. Do they want you to call during their lunch hour at work or after the kids go to bed at night? But whatever that time is, make sure you write that down and follow up with that. Make sure you call when you say you're going to call. Let your yes be your yes so that you're doing what they expect you to do. So the key things are on day 1, you ask these questions. This is a great way to get started, great way to get a conversation started, great way to figure out how it's going for them on the 24-day challenge. Ask them, say, Mary, tell me how you took your products today. And then listen. Just listen. Listen to them tell you their whole day, when they took what all they ate. Just listen and let them explain to you what they did that day. And then, even if they took everything all wrong, don't just let them talk until they get to the end. And then you can say, Mary, may I make some suggestions to you? May I help you with what we're going to do tomorrow? Because if you ask permission, it makes them feel like you're not criticizing them or being critical of the way they did things. You're just going to make some suggestions to help tomorrow go a little better maybe or get better results. And then troubleshoot what they said that may need some tweaking, or if they did everything right, you just tell them they did a great job and good luck tomorrow and I'll be getting back with you in a couple of days. And all of that helps because this is a who do you know business. So if you take the time and you help this client get extraordinary results, they're going to talk about it. They're going to tell their friends and their neighbors and their family and their coworkers, and they're going to say, I'm on these great products and I've got a great coach and I've gotten all this help, and gosh, maybe you would want to do that too. I'm sure my friend would help you too. And so next thing you know, you've got another contact, you've got another person to follow up with, you've got them on a 24-day challenge. So it's definitely worth your time to be a good steward of following up and to make sure everybody has all the information that they need. And the other thing about following up that it does for your business is it plants that seed. If they're thinking, gosh, how do they get to that point? How do they get to where they're coaching people through the 24-day challenge? What does that look like? And they ask you, and then you've opened the door, and you can tell them about the business opportunity and how great it is to make an extra $500, $700, $1,200 a month. And they will be excited to get involved in that. And then you've pushed that person on to their next goal. So it's a great way, follow-up is a great way to be a walking billboard for your own business. So that's all I have to say today about fortune is in the follow-up. Thanks, Team Oasis.